It was a full moon night in the month of April. The almond branches were laden with blossoms, and despite the icy chill in the air, the fragrance of spring had already arrived. Beneath the towering trees, velvet green grass spread across the ground, with patches of melting snow scattered like white flowers. By the coming month, the snow would dissolve into the earth, the grass would turn a deeper shade of green, and the almond trees would glitter with fresh green almonds like topaz jewels. The mist would lift from the blue mountains, and across the bridge of the lake, the dusty path would echo with the familiar bells of grazing sheep. Under these lofty trees, shepherds would shear thick wool from their flocks and sing songs through the long days of summer. But it was still April. The trees had not sprouted leaves yet. The mountains were still veiled in snow. The paths were silent without sheep, and the lotus lamps had not yet bloomed on the lake. The deep green waters of the lake hid within them countless forms waiting to burst open with the arrival of spring, like an innocent smile rising suddenly on its surface. Along the bridge, buds had begun to sparkle on the almond branches. On the last cold night of winter, when almond blossoms awaken, they become the heralds of spring, floating like little boats across the lake's surface, trembling with anticipation of the season to come. Leaning against the railing of the bridge, I had been waiting for her for a long time. Afternoon had ended, evening had come. Houseboats passed under the stony arches and disappeared into the horizon like fragile paper boats. The crimson of evening faded into grey and then into black until the path behind the almond trees was asleep and the first star appeared in the silence of night, shining like a traveler's song. The chill deepened, numbing my breath, and then the moon rose, and then she arrived. She came running down the slope of the path, stopping close to me. Breathless, she touched my shoulder with her fingers, rested her head there, and her dense black hair spread like a forest across my soul. I whispered, "I've been waiting for you since afternoon." She laughed softly. "But now it's night, such a beautiful night." Her small delicate hands rested on my shoulders, like almond blossoms bowing to sleep on a branch. She spoke of how her father had walked her to the curve of the path because she was afraid to walk alone. She was going to her friend Rajo's house, where the girls would stay awake all night, singing songs in celebration of the first blossoms of spring. She had brought me roasted corn, dried apricots, and wild berries, apologizing for being late. Then, looking into my eyes, she said, "Let's take the boat and sail across the lake. Tonight is a full moon night." I saw in her pupils the reflection of the moon, which seemed to whisper, "Take the boat, sail upon the lake. Tonight is the festival of blossoms." We walked to the lake, where the boat lay waiting beneath an apricot tree. In silence, I held her close, kissed her eyes, her cheeks, her lips, and the world bloomed with music, flowers, and prayers. Then I untied the boat, and together we drifted into the still center of the lake. She opened her bundle, offering me wild berries, dried apricots, and roasted corn. As we shared them, she spoke of the previous spring when I had not been there. The trees had blossomed, the fruits had ripened, but I was absent. She recalled the apricot tree in her yard, the green sour fruits eaten with salt and chili, the sweet red fruits drying on rooftops, the cornfields swaying in the wind, the harvest, the songs of young girls, and in all those memories, I was not there. That night, as we shared food and laughter, the sweetness of the corn seemed like life itself yesterday, incomplete, today complete. I asked if I could kiss her. She smiled. "Hush, the boat will sink." I asked, "Then what shall we do?" She whispered, "Let it sink." That full moon night never left me. Even now, as I near 70 years of age, it shines in my memory as brightly as if it happened yesterday. That pure love, that magic neither of us would ever experience again. She never went home that night. She ran away with me, and for days we wandered like children, lost in love. Later, I bought a small house by the lake. One day, leaving her behind, I went to Srinagar, promising to return in 3 days. When I returned, I saw her laughing with a young man, feeding each other from the same plate. I thought he was her lover from the past. My heart broke. Without speaking, I turned away and never returned. 48 years passed. My wife is gone, but my sons, daughters in law, and grandchildren are with me. We came back to this lake in April under blossoming almonds. I saw the same paths, the same trees, the same apricot tree, the same boat, and the same house. I entered. Inside, I saw children, a young woman, an old woman. She, my first spring. She recognized me after a long silence. She introduced me to her family. Then, when we walked together by the lake, she asked, "Why didn't you come back? I waited 6 years for you." I told her I had seen her with another young man. She burst into laughter. That was my brother. She had waited for me. But when I never returned, she married. Now her grandchildren and mine played together by the apricot tree, beside the same boat. We smiled. In her eyes, the moon shone once again, whispering, "Seasons pass, people die, love fades, but life continues. Spring always returns."